Inside my head, crashing down and filled with dread. Destruction grinding in my mind. Memories rewind and intertwine. Read, assimilate, save, assimilate, suffocate. Read, assimilate. Fragments flashing out of sync. Code corrupted, broken links. Circuit power, hard reboot. Stuck inside a never-ending loop. Assimilate, mutilate. Rage, assimilate, mutilate. Save, assimilate, suffocate. Rage, assimilate, mutilate. I'm glitching out. I'm glitching out. Movement at the mouth. I'm glitching. It's over now. Reality is loud. Chaotic sound. I'm glitching out.
Welcome to the first IPW Underground after Fearless, and we are getting into some heavy action here tonight with the first of the best of 5 series between Rhodes and Rollins for the Undisputed Showdown Championship. Well, hello Leeds, England. It's nice to be in my home country for tonight's episode of IPW Underground.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Japan, one half of the Undisputed Women's Tag Team Champions, Black Beach.
And well, we're kicking it off in the women's division, more specifically tag team division. While this is a singles matchup, the champion is in action here tonight, as well as her tag partner, up against the number one contenders for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships of the world. Bragging rights of such on the line here as these two teams get a taste of what their opponents have to offer when we reach city limits. As the legit boss draws the action here tonight against Momo. As Mercedes Moné looks to beat Momo Watanabe. These two have certainly seen each other, but never clashed against one another in Stardom. And well, with that, you kind of have to look at the potential battle we have on our hands. The technical submission wrestling game of Mercedes Moné with a little bit of added flair, up against that hard-hitting action explosivity of Momo Watanabe. And we are set. The Black Peach versus the CEO to kick off tonight's episode of IPW Underground. And, well, if we were wanting to talk about how these two teams are coming to clash against one another, well, it's all down to what happened at Fearless. Obviously a massive night where essentially everything worked out for IPW Underground. Their first big show as a brand, and well, they won out on the night beating Primetime and Breakdown 5 points to 3 across the other 2 shows, I believe. And well, one of those bouts was a women's tag team #1 contenders affair, which did see some pretty solid lineups. Obviously, the 2 horsewomen of Monet and Lynch beating out the likes of Fatal Influence and Green and Niven. So 2 former tag champions beaten to the punch by these 2 ladies that really build up this women's tag team division here on IPW Underground. Now, turning our attention back to this battle. The worrying thing is that countout is looming. A count of 7. Momo sending Monet into the LED ring post. A count of 7. The whip reversed. Momo sent crashing down to the canvas. Count of 8. Watanabe is back to her feet, breaking the count before the 9 comes in, and well, that's good for the Black Peach because she can go straight back to destroying Mercedes Moné. But as we look at Lynch and Moné's styles, they're very similar in terms of their wrestling prowess. They obviously bring a little bit of a different sort of stature, different sort of body types. I'd say Monet a little bit more agile than Lynch, but their skills really do complement each other and bring probably the best sort of action out of one another. And while I'd say there is a bit more of a contrast as Sonato comes through for Momo, she may be looking to put an end to this matchup right now. Hooks up, trying maybe for that B driver. Monet gonna evade it, but getting back on the topic. The tag champions as another Sonato comes through. Monet in trouble as Momo's calling an end to this one. But I need to finish my point here. The tag champion style is probably the most adapt. I'd say Green and Niven fairly similar in terms of it's a well-balanced sort of strategy, as Momo a lot more known for her power game, that striking, the kicks, all in her arsenal, as Monet trying to bounce back here. And then Saya Kamitani is a lot more high-flying, brings her own power game. She utilizes her height really well. And that's what makes the tag champions such a good squad. Hate really know how to bring it to their opponents. As a cover here for Momo, looks for the win, gets the 2. Big kick out there by Mercedes to stay in this one. Nice knee lift as well to fight back here against Watanabe. Monet dropping the knees herself, this time into the belly of the beast. Down goes Watanabe. Good for 2 is the cover. Big kick out there as Mercedes looks to keep the pressure on. She drags Watanabe away from the ropes. Couldn't eventually look for that money maker, or the bank statement in her arsenal is pretty potent, and it makes Watanabe's life a little bit more troublesome, having to guess more so what is to come from Monet. It could be that big powerful maneuver in the money maker, or a submission hold just launched into you after a backstabber. And that's usually what makes it so hard when dealing with the CEO. Monet stomping away here as Momo fights back. The Black Peach charges in, gets caught here. Monet puts boot to the back of the knee. Kick connects. Mercedes hooks up Momo, up for a little money maker. Down goes Watanabe, and Mercedes could look to get this dub. Returns Momo to the ring. Watanabe down. Mercedes sprawls into the cover. 1, 2. No. The tag champ kicks out. Resilient as ever. And that's something you also have to give a lot of credit to Watanabe for, is that resilience. The ability to kick out of nearly every big maneuver and then bounce back as she's doing now. A brilliant DDT there, setting up Mercedes for a little peach sunrise. Down goes Mercedes and the cover comes through for the win. No. Big kick out there by Monet, and well, it's gonna force Momo to recalculate strategies. Ripcord knee calls the shot, but Mercedes is back up. Kick for Mercedes. Monet hooks up Momo for a little. Monet Maker. The champ down. The cover good for the win. No. Near fall after near fall. Neither lady backing down. Monet into the hold. Locked in tight. Momo using her elbow to force a break of the hold. And Momo fires through. Sonato connects. She's calling for the end now. Mercedes caught for the second time. Peach sunrise. Down goes Monet. And that is it. Watanabe victorious here tonight. Monet up to her feet and Momo's offering a handshake. These two. A little sportsmanship before they clash at city limits. Nice showing there between foes for the future. Well, with that in mind, let's move over to our next bout here tonight. Well, it's a fight night here tonight. We've got a little bit of a brawl.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing in at 225 pounds, John Moxley.
Well, John Moxley making his debut, walking through whatever this is. Through the crowd for this one. And maybe a little bit of gamesmanship, I feel, with the entrance theme. I've got a feeling there's some hard knocks action coming Moxley's way here tonight. Oh, he's thrown out the fist. It's no longer shield time. Still does it, regardless of the fact for some reason. Well, it's a good fight, but I got a feeling that theme's kicking off again. Yeah. I knew it was coming. 'Cause it's a prize fighter in the house. We've got a brawl on our hands, I feel.
And his opponent from Marieville, Quebec, Canada, weighing in at 242 pounds, Kevin Owens.
Moxley versus Kevin Owens. It's an interesting battle here. Two very scrappy fighters. And only one of them can prevail here tonight. I've got a feeling this might turn into a bloody war, but for now, war is just a word, a thought that could potentially turn into something interesting. Well, I just heard the crowd chant "Kill Owens, kill," so it fits the Underground moniker perfectly, and I'm surprised it's something that I did hear overall. But let's get going here. Mox with the dropkick to start things off, putting KO down to the canvas. And, well, we kind of have to look at this match as a top stars in the Showdown division here on Underground, which is an interesting premise altogether, knowing what's happening tonight as we kick off as the dropkick, springboard, simultaneous throwing of the big shots fails for both men there. But it's an interesting premise tonight as we kick off the best of 5 series between champ and challenger. The winner of 3 gets the title, and it will be Rollins versus Rhodes in that main event. Rollins and Rhodes both familiar with Jon Moxley, both of which have faced off against one another, or with one another, at some time in their career. Anyway, a cover here for Owens, gets broken as Moxley kicks out. Goes for the splash, this time does KO, as he looks to begin this battle in his favor. We tie up, and, well, KO gets the better of Moxley, forcing him into the ropes. Clean break between the two as Owens tries to unload. Shot after shot connects, and, well, it will be Kevin Owens keeping the pressure on here. Tries to launch in. Moxley evades and now looks to go on the offensive himself. Owens puts elbow to the belly, launches off and gets caught, but he trips up Moxley. All part of the plan, it seems. It's Kevin Owens launching the offensive, but it's now switched over to the favor of Jon Moxley. Mox staring down his opponent. Tries to charge him down, but KO expects it. And KO, though, does not expect that knee. Wow. Damage done to the face of Kevin Owens. It's busted him open. And Moxley looking to keep the momentum rolling. Launching the elbow off the top. He drops KO. The cover comes through. 1, 2. Big kick out by Kevin Owens to stay in this one. As Moxley, he is now finding that momentum, bringing KO to a screeching halt. Mox scoops up. Looks to maybe slam or go for the snake eyes. KO down. In that drop zone, Moxley lands a headbutt, I believe. It was more of a splash style offensive. KO. Battling back, he reversed the maneuver from Moxley and then fires off a Michinoku driver. And this is the momentum shifting KO needs. However, Moxley, he's still able to evade. He's still able to keep going. Nice low punch, and then the big time line connects there for Moxley. Down goes Owens, and the cover good for 2. But Jon Moxley not able to get it done just yet, and now just going to brutalize batter the face of Owens. Unprotected shots to the side of the face. And this is that Blackpool Combat Club / Death Riders sort of style battling that Moxley is known for. KO. He has his own brutal style, that never say die attitude. There's a reason the crowd chanted kill, Owens, kill. And this is why. It's this never say never, that I will battle you till my body gives out on me. And these two, they kind of bring that sort of style to life inside the ring. Moxley caught. The boots come up from Owens, forcing him to the canvas. And now it's Owens' turn to maybe go on the offensive for an extended period of time. But that's a dragon screw. And that's Moxley back up on his feet. Locking it in. A variant of the bulldog choke. It's not fully locked around the neck. It's more so just a crossface of sorts there from Mox. As Owens super kick connects. The bounce back offense is there for Owens. He gets the cover, but it's only a 1 count here against Jon Moxley. Something extra is needed really here to put away Mox, as well, we're getting hyped up tonight. This has been a solid opening to the show. And KO looks for the swanton. The knees come up. Moxley back on the offensive. Drop kick into the spine of Owens. And now he's caught as well. KO to his feet. Running into the DDT. He plants Moxley down. He needs something else really to put away the Death Rider. Kick connects. Stunner! He hits it. That could be the game-ending maneuver, but I've got a feeling, and the feeling was correct, Moxley was going to kick out. It's Jon Moxley. He's a durable SOB. And Owens hasn't really landed too much here. Moxley out the back door, going to float over into a Scorpion Death Drop. Down goes KO, and well, KO in trouble here. Moxley, knees to the side of the head, keeping the pressure on. Hits the trifecta. Owens, he's losing any chance of building momentum, getting back into this. Because Moxley, Gorebuster, he's keeping KO down and out. Again, clubbing blows to the side and kind of on that neck of Owens. A referee issuing the count. It's rising quickly. We're at 6. Make it 7. Mox needs to look to get this action back into the ring. And Owens really needs to find his footing. Count of 8. A staggered Owens at a count of 9. And there's the 10. Moxley ends it on the outside with a stunned KO. Unable to shake off the damage that Moxley had inflicted onto him, even from a standing position. And that allowed Moxley to just squirm his way back into the ring and secure the count-out victory.
Here is your winner, Jon Moxley!
It was always going to be a hard-hitting affair, but how it ended, that was never going to be clear. But Moxley earns the victory here tonight, and we'll see how that treats him here in IPW Underground. But we saw the other half of this bout earlier in the night. How will this one turn out?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Dublin, Ireland, the man, Becky Lynch.
Mercedes Moné got put down by Momo Watanabe with them peach sunrises. Now it's the turn of Lynch and Saya Kamitani. The Phoenix Queen versus the man. That one, that opener, I think, was a welcome teaser for what was to come here in this one. I would say two top stars, fairly evenly footed, coming into this clash. Lynch, I would say, the more successful in singles action than Saya Kamitani. With the fact that Lynch, a former Ruby Belt champion, former Resolve case winner, which after City Limits we will be heading back to Resolve, but as we focus in on this matchup, Saya Kamitani looks ready to go here. The Phoenix Queen rising from the ashes.
And her opponent from Kamakura, Kanagawa, Japan. One half of the undisputed women's tag team champions, Sarah Harry Tammy.
Saya Kamitani takes the walk to the ring. We know we're in for a very agile sort of battle. Honestly, when we get to City Limits, when the Horsewomen take on Hate, you got to look at the bout. On paper, it is a big clash. You've got a lot of speed and a lot of potential for an upset. But who would be classed as an upset, really? Well, we'll have to speak to the bookies ahead of the clash, but from my perspective, you got to put favor onto Lynch and Monet a little bit more than the actual tag champions. A long history between those two. And well, when it comes to championship success, Lynch has a little bit more than Saya and Momo. Granted, only one title held between all three of those stars, or individually held one title. Technically as two titles, the tag titles. But we'll skip past that as the action now kicking off here. It's Lynch who's got the offensive control here, applying the side headlock. Saya switches into the waistlock, but immediately a snapmare takedown from Lynch gets her in control once more. The headlock applied, keeping Kamitani at bay. Well, a knee to the back just adds the exclamation point that Lynch wanted. And this is early punishment here. A armbar applied. It's not the disarmer, but that's a big shot. That's the bounce back shot Kamitani needed to get into this matchup. Becky already going after the arm, maybe setting up a game plan. Her attack angle is the arm of Saya Kamitani. But now it's Kamitani's turn, attacking the arms. Potentially going for a bit of a big time strategy of her own. Obviously, her finisher being that Phoenix Splash / Phoenix Driver. Lynch, well aware of what could be coming her way during this matchup, but as it stands, Lynch on the offensive. Calls Kamitani to her feet and puts her in the corner, busting open the Phoenix Queen. Saya not one to back down, never shy of getting into the action. It's Becky bringing it to the tag champ. And this is also a good sort of, I'm not saying a tester, but realistically we know that Saya Kamitani, while she is solid in tag team action, this could be a potential eye-opening affair for maybe Eve Torres, who technically Queen's Quest do sit on primetime, but that is only a partial statement, obviously, with the fact that the tag champions will and do go between all three shows. Most active team I think we've ever seen here in IPW. As Lynch, arm hook, disarmer applied. We said she was looking to punish that arm, but she can't get the win on the outside. And Kamitani knows it, forcing her off her. Pretty quick speed. What's more important, if you get her off on the outside, there is no rope breaks out there. It is just pure pain under a 10 count. Saya hooks the arm. A Kamigoya. The big knee connects. Lynch drop. This is the turning point Saya Kamitani needs as she returns Becky to the ring. At the count of 7, we go for the cover. Saya on top. 1. It's a quick kick out. A kind of expected quick kick out. Lynch has not taken much damage, but that's the Phoenix Splash from the Phoenix Queen, landing onto Lynch for the 2. Becky, she's hit the disarmer, but that's all she's hit. Saya Kamitani's hit big and hit hard as she tries for the crossbody. It's not going to connect, and Becky, well, she's looking to punish, tries to drop the leg. It fails to connect. Kamitani caught though, butterflied up and over. She drags Lynch to the canvas, and the action once again spills to ringside. Becky back in control. I've spoke too soon. Dragon screw leg whip from the tag champ Kamitani. Striking true. Bitch slap onto Becky. Crucifix though. Becky, she takes the paint across the face and then fires back hard, targeting the arm once again. As the action's slowing down from that breakneck pace that we saw moments ago. Man on a mission. As both ladies up and returning to the ring. Lynch tries to grapple, can't get it. Does connect these shots though. And arm wrench up and over. Northern Light suplex into an armbar. Interesting maneuvers from Becky as she drops the leg across the throat. And that's setting up Saya for some potential danger. Becky connecting. Hooks her up, manhandle, slam! Down goes Saya. The cover's good for 2. Make it no. Not the 3 just yet. Lynch may have been going for a second swing of the manhandle slam. Not going to get it. Instead, has to go to a different avenue of attack. Continue to punish the arm. Pull it back. Another arm submission here. Continuing to punish the left and right arms of Saya Kamitani. Tries to go for that leg drop once again, but Kamitani gets to her feet, but legs are swept out from underneath Saya. Lynch into another submission. Across the back to add added pressure, but now it's Saya Kamitani's turn to go on the offensive. Lynch caught. Struggling now. Maybe she's burnt out all her avenues of attack and given Sayed a chance to deliver a massive powerbomb there from the Phoenix Queen, who's lining, stalking up her prey, hooks her up, but Lynch escapes the danger. Sayed does the same, follows it up with a Scorpion Death Drop. Either lady backing down, but Sayed, she's looking to end it here. The shot lined up, tornado kick misses. Lynch up, caught, jawbreakered. And somehow Lynch has control still. Tosses Thayer into the turnbuckle. The cover comes through. 1, 2, 3. Well, we're 1-1, it seems, between the Horsewomen and Hate. And that is a perfect score to be tie-broken at city limits. We saw everything in this matchup. It was a close affair. But the man remains on top in singles action. As we see how this match tails out here to cover. Kamitani's body battered and bruised and unable to kick out.
Here is your winner, the man, Becky Lynch.
As the man earns victory here, we shift away back to the men's divisions. Well, I did say men's divisions. I wasn't specific. As we got tag team action from the reunited lineup. Trick Bouts are in the house.
Is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring at a combined weight of 430 pounds. The team of Javon Evans and Trick Williams.
And these two, they're looking to find their first victory. Losing out in their reuniting bout. It's time for them to hopefully earn a victory here tonight. As the glasses come off from Trick Willie, Javon's calling for the boom. Which is, this team we know can really elevate the pace of a match. And when we look at the tag team divisions, there are a lot of teams looking to find their first win more than anything. And this is one of those teams. Surprisingly without a win here in IPW. The tag champions obviously will be defending their belts.
And their opponents, accompanied by Lita at a combined weight of 461 pounds. Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys.
Against a team from IPW Underground in Chase, Booker U, I should say. But this tag division here on Underground is slowly forming into a pretty interesting landscape, all things considered, because there were really no teams drafted over to the brand during draft week. But you look at the teams that have kind of scoped or been brought into this landscape. You've got the Hardys, who were debutantes on to Underground. You have New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, who, well, beat the Hardys in their debut. Trick and Javon, these two coming together to make a solid squad. Or reuniting. Remember, they are former tag team champions of the world. And then Booker T and Andre Chase, who, well, they entered Fearless, of the three teams, the underdogs. And, well, they walk out with the titles. Something, title match. Something not many people expected. Now, as it stands, we'll probably see the tag champs in action soon enough in a warm-up ahead of that clash, because unlike, I would say, Hate, we haven't seen the Outlaws in action in quite some time. As stereo super kicks come flying here from Trick and Javon. Bring in Big Trick Willie to a battle with Matt Hardy. As it stands, it has been all Trick bounce to start this one off. Well, it's certainly showing as another big-time maneuver works here. As Matt Hardy makes the tag, in comes his brother Jeff, and it's interesting to point out just the records here in IPW Underground for the Hardys. Jeff Hardy 1-1. 1 win, 1 loss. He won a singles matchup last week. Before City Limits, before Fearless, he won a singles match. But Matt, he is yet to win anything. 0-2 here in the Underground. Wow. I tell a lie, Jeff Hardy has also been in the third match. He competed at Fearless. Part of the team that I believe won. I don't have the record in front of me to confirm that, but right now the action fairly interesting overall, with the Hardys finally getting on the offensive here. Matt's really been lackluster. Absorbed some heavy shots here from Javon as the whip gets reversed. Evans perching Matt up top. That's not where you want to be, especially against Javon, who's going to join you up there. That's not going to be a nice landing. Avalanche Spanish fly from Javon Evans. Hits its mark onto Matt Hardy. And wisely, Javon tags out. Brings in Trick Williams. Because, well, it's still a crash landing for both Trick and Javon. Sorry, for Javon as well as Matt. As the tag's made, Javon back in. Double axe handle to the arm of Matt Hardy. Matt. Drop kick puts down Javon. This is Matt Hardy finding some momentum. For the moment, I should say, as, well, Javon, he's battling back. Reverse though, bulldog from Matt. Putting the young OG down on the floor, but the whip, it reverses the tune. As Matt Hardy down on the outside, a count of 6, and Javon, he's lost interest in battling with Big Money Matt, instead targeting Jeff, who's coming in, twisting into that swinging neck breaker. Javon puts the boots up. Again, he battles with Matt, but Matt fires off a big clothesline. Hardy again has his whip reversed. Javon caught and a little snake eyes puts him down. The young OG needs to kick out here, and he does so with ease. A count of one. He breaks that position as he slowly crawls. Matt launches into the splash. Javon's not tagging out just yet. And this is the Hardys, or Matt Hardy, actually showing up here. He may have been caught, and I have spoke too soon. The young OG puts him down. Now, looking for it. Maybe. No. Not going for the OG cutter. Instead, he is going for it. A twist of fate. Cover here. 1, 2, and then no 3. It's an interesting premise to go for that maneuver against the Hardys. Matt knows it. He absorbed it, and he's calling for the deletion of that maneuver out from the history books. But Giovanni's not going out without a fight. Back to his feet, tries to wheelbarrow. Matt, inverted DDT. And a little side effect puts down Javon. But Javon's up quick. He does not want to go out of this battle with a whimper. Tries to tag out, tries to bring in the fresh Trick Williams. Matt really may look to do the same to bring in Jeff. He doesn't need it yet. Instead, snap vertical suplex into the cover. Brushing the face with the arm as well. And the OG can't hang. A massive win here for the Hardys. And I'm going to say it's a standout performance from Matt Hardy. The only one really who entered the match for his team. But Javon, my man, you should have tagged out when you could have. Because Matt Hardy, bang with the side effect. There was a twist of fate probably looming, but the snap vertical does the job. Trick forced to watch on as Matt gets the win.
Here are your winners, Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys.
A massive bounce back victory for the Hardy Boys here tonight. One that can potentially continue and launch their career here in IPW, but for now, it's only a building block for the start of their time here. Well, we have reached co-main event time. It's time we crown ourselves a #1 contender for the Underground Championship. As we kick it off with the Beast, a former Prospects champion in Zarya.
The following contest is an 8-woman battle royal. Making her way to the ring from Adelaide, Australia, Zarya.
As stated, a former Prospects champion. Now entering this matchup. I would say of the 8 stars who will be in this battle royale, one of the hardest maybe to eliminate. Raw power, a lot of strength and resiliency to stay within the squared circle. And the chance obviously looming. We know that this women's division here in the Underground, it is a vast array of talent. Zarya drafted from Primetime 2 Underground. A big pickup there in terms of a former champion. But speaking of big-time talent, the Bougie Badass also fits that moniker.
From Atlanta, Georgia, Lash Legend.
We keep mentioning it during or whenever Lash is in action, but her run during Turmoil, second to none. A solid overall performance there. But she's not been able to translate that success into championship glory. And, well, our general manager here in the Underground, Ludwig Kaiser, he knows talent. That's why he brought her over here to strengthen this women's division, as well as potentially get her a title. More Raw talent now.
And from Boynton Beach, Florida, Kalani Jordan.
As we have the Prospects Championship Tournament runner-up here. A woman who, well, lost out to the current Underground champion in that tournament. And that's an important point to stress. Ludwig Kaiser, I think, in his drafting, has brought over a lot of promising stars from both Primetime and Breakdown to just really give, without a doubt, the best mid-card division possible, with runners-up in the Prospects Championship, the winner of that tournament as well, former Prospects champion. Woo! 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 And without a doubt, one of the best performers ever in the Road to the Showdown. The woman who slayed champions and became a television champion.
And from Dublin, Ireland, Lyra Valkyria.
You have to put her up there as one of the best. Woo! 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 Because without Lyra Valkyria, you would not have certain matchups from last year that popped off as considered my match of the years overall. And this division, I said it already, it is stacked to the brim with talent. And that's what Ludwig Kaiser does. That's why this women's division is such an amazing thing to look at. And so this matchup, with the accolades that are here, as they continue to soar higher and higher, it becomes an interesting premise on our hands. Because we have a returning star to IPW, making her Underground debut as well. Anna Jay returning to IPW here. It's a big performance and a chance to really show up here tonight. Not many people get this opportunity in their first match back to be in a #1 contenders bout. But Anna's in it. There's the rest of the field. Needs to be filled with 3 more stars. Out next. A little bit of a rocker.
From Kyoto, Japan, Mike
As Maker up next to fill the field. I believe this is her underground debut as well. Not someone we typically know much about here in IPW. He's not had massive matches, if any. That's why this is a nice sort of opener. As such, a straight throw into the deep end. We've got 4 big stars who all have history here in IPW so far. Then followed by 2 newbies. We probably have big targets on their back. We shall see, though, if the targets are big enough for elimination, because there are some other big names that I feel that in a matchup like this, you have to remember, it is over-the-top rope elimination. I would say the likes of Lash Legend could be a big target. And well, next star, I would say, has a lot of history as well. Here in IPW.
from Las Vegas, Nevada, Zoe Stark.
Well, she hasn't had standout success. I would say she was the heartbeat of the women's division here in the underground pre-2026 underground, I should say. A inaugural Women's World Tag Team Championship #1 contender. That matchup where we crowned the first ever tag title holders in Fatal Influence, PFC, Pure Fusion Collective, finishing runners up there. Stark integral to that run. And well, we finish out the field. Potentially with some brutality. In the form of Gigi Dolan.
From Atlanta, Georgia, GG.
Hell's favorite harlot. Taking to the ring here tonight. Gigi obviously had some interesting periods of time here in IPW. Alongside Toxic Attraction / Fatal Attraction way back when. If you remember that, good for you, good job. But that was an interesting period of time. Now drafted over here to IPW Underground, a chance to make impact in singles divisions. As we get on the way with your co-main event, a battle royale to determine the #1 contender for the Underground Championship. We get going, and it will be Zarya and Anna battling, as Zarya almost gone quickly. Kalani and Maker, Lash and Lyra, and Gigi and Stark, all just battling to kick this off. And we know that this sort of battle, it's explosive. You need to have eyes in the back of your head constantly, because you never know when someone else will just jump you. And while there is no tag team action in this, you have to expect that some minor partnerships will form to try and eliminate certain stars. There's springboard offense flying, but not working here for Lyra. Anna and Zarya are constantly exchanging blows. Spinning heel kick there. Beautifully executed by Jay. Lash and Kalani squaring off against one another. Neither getting the better of the jockeying for position. As Valkyria now turns her attention to Anna. Stark and Gigi continue to battle as Gigi may have looked to try and eliminate Zoe, but instead she meets a spinning European uppercut from Stark. And Stark gets belly to back suplexed. Zarya introduces herself to Zoe. Lyra sends Zarya into the ropes, looking to eliminate her. A first real attempt at eliminations, getting help here from Zoe. Stark trying to get rid of a Prospects champion. And Zarya hangs on. Not gone yet. Boots to get back in. Kalani hits a poison rana. My word, that's massive. That came out of nowhere. Meanwhile, Lash up and just launching Kalani. Eyes on Lyra, who could be going soon. Zarya trying to force her out the ring. Not going to happen. Make her in trouble as well. Anna Jay trying to get rid of her, as Lash is also trying to get rid of Kalani. Anna slowly but surely trying to force her, make her out. But the first elimination happened. And it's Stark gone. The lifeblood of the old underground gone, as we're into the new era. And we are seeing big time offense connecting here. Saito suplex from Anna Jay, puts down Lash. King Kong knee drop as well from Anna Jay as she launches the offensive. Zarya running rampant, tries to land a leg drop onto the leg drop maestro Lyra Valkyria. Kalani, split-legged moonsault, hits the target as well. Not what you typically expect in a match like this, as Lyra now in trouble. Tossed up and over. She gone. Eliminated by Kalani and Maker. Anna hangs on as well, but keep your eyes on Maker. Stalling. Standing. Just showboating with Kalani with that suplex. Normally people stall out during that, but Maker just delivering the heavy impact. We're down to 5. It could become 4 in a moment. Zarya could be eliminated here. Maker is, though. We're down to 4. Not the way I thought it would be. Maker hangs on. And we're actually down to 5, I should say. It was 6 to 5 as Kalani hangs on for a moment, but no, she gone. The Prospects Cup runner-up loses to a Prospects champion. The Final 4 features 2 stars looking to break out, looking to show off in their underground debuts, versus 2 stars that have been to the mountaintop, more or less. Had their massive moment. Slash slices up Gigi. Hooks her up, choke. Bomb! Planting Dolan. Gigi could have been in trouble, could have been eliminated, but Zarya is getting in the way of Lash's plans. And Legend launched over the top. Boots come up, she skins the cat and stays alive in this matchup for the moment, but she's caught on Zarya's shoulder, who delivers the F5. Dolan wanting a bit of revenge on Lash after that choke bomb. Launches her up and out.
Lash Legend has been eliminated.
We're down to 3. Blue Thunder Bomb from Gigi, putting Zarya down. But Zarya could have been looking for another F5, but not going to get it instead. She's tossed over. And we're getting a little GG driver. Anna Jay and Gigi Dolan, your final two. The winner gets a shot at the Underground Championship, and that shot goes to Gigi Dolan. Well, we got to that final four here. The choke bomb I thought was a death sentence for Gigi. But she rolls to the apron, recuperates. Zarya dishes out the damage then to Lash. Lash gets tossed over the top. Zarya could not hang on. She's gone from Anna Jay, and then this. Gigi driver hits the target. Anna tries to skin the cat, but no. She gone. And Gigi victorious.
Here's your winner, Gigi.
Well, Dolan gets a chance to go up against Roxanne Perez. We'll see if she can beat her there, but now it's main event time. The first of the best of 5 series between Cody and Rollins. Well, this isn't a theme I recognize, but I know those signs. This is Seth Rollins. Oh, it has to be with that music. Oh, we've got a throwback. A lot of gamesmanship comes from Seth. And donning this look.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Davenport, Iowa, weighing in at 212 pounds, Seth Rollins!
Might be part of the game for Seth Rollins. Known for his masterminding plans. This is going back to the black and gold days. The OG NXT. With how he looks and feels. A scene that Rhodes was never a part of. He never went through that sort of pro wrestling, but it's an interesting story because Cody Rhodes, obviously son of Dusty Rhodes, never really seen as a son of Dusty in terms of the love. It was more so Rollins, Roman and Moxley, the Shield that saw a lot more of Dusty's love. The sons that were never his son. And that irks Cody the wrong way. When Rollins earned that #1 contendership. Oh, you knew this was going to be a brawl, didn't you? That's why, as the band comes through.
And his opponent from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 222 pounds, the Grand Prix champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
That is why Ludwig Kaiser set this up as a best of 5. A chance for these two to unleash hell upon each other. A straight singles match tonight to start the series off on even footing. The winner gets a point, edging him closer to being champion. The loser chooses the stipulation of their next match. So while the winner always has the point going towards them, the loser gets something at least. A choice of the battlefield. And tonight, even footing, even grounds, Rollins and Rhodes can get the battling going. And, well, that's a interesting maneuver from Rollins to start this off. It was a senton-esque maneuver to a standing opponent. Cody trying for the Alabama slam, gets caught as Rollins caught as well. German suplex from Rhodes will find the target. Springboard moonsault not going to work here for Cody. And you know these two have battled before in their careers. They know each other so well. Cody's return match to the Fed against Rollins at WrestleMania. And Rollins known for that showboating style, upstaged then by Rhodes. And that always upsets Rollins. Cody's return also eked him the wrong way, saying, you left this company, you wanted to kill it. And thus, Cody returning was a bad sign. He was a plague that Rollins needed to put an end to. And that's why there's so much bad blood between these two. And it's seeped into IPW. And Ludwig Kaiser's taking full advantage of it. And you know, going into city limits, if it is tied... Oh! Electric chair drop hitting the apron. And it's not the standard apron side. It's onto the LED screen, I should say. And Rollins, his body, maybe jarred up from that landing. But you know, if this series, it goes 2-2, it's decided at Fearless. Who will be champion? Will it be Rollins? Will it be Cody? That will get the answer to as these weeks roll on. Rollins dropping the elbow in. Springboard option looked for. Moonsault gonna connect this time. And he looks for the cover as well. One. We know that at any moment as that super kick hits the target, Rollins is a man, a master manipulator. With this look and feel, could he go back to some of them old maneuvers that he has used previously to beat opponents back in the black and gold days? A little slice of red could be looming. Buckle bombs, you name it, it could be in the wheelhouse here of Rollins tonight. Spinning gut kick connects, up and over. Well, I did say sliced bread. There it is. Cover in for Rollins. He was skywalking there and almost walking away with the first victory in the best of 5 series. Off the ropes he goes. Cody evades. Up and down with the bulldog. And the champion could be in trouble early as he heads to the ringside area. Back up to his feet. He returns in. Springboard. Moonsault. Hits the target. And he's ascending once more to the top turnbuckle. Launches the elbow. It hits the target as well. Rollins pulled to his feet. Caught here. And this is gamesmanship. Pedigree from Rhodes. The mentor of Rollins. His own maneuver used against him. And Cody now closing in on the victory. Looks for the crossroads, but he meets a lariat from Rollins. Springboard moonsault from Seth. Hits the target. Cody's in trouble. The champion fires back with his own clothesline. Rollins evades the punch. He scoops up Rhodes and plants him down. Cody in trouble. As Seth, he's got a long distance to fly here as he beckons Rhodes to his feet. Launches and will connect with the crossbody. The champion's in trouble. And Rollins knows it. Up and over. He's skywalking into the cover. 1, 2. Somehow Cody kicks out. Staying alive. But for how much longer? The champion, he's in trouble of going 0-1 in the best of 5 series. Up and over. Blockbuster from Rollins. Oh, and the roundhouse. It connects. Cody's down. Is the lights out? The answer's no. And back up he gets. Seth's not done. Sky walking for the 3rd time. Into the cover. 1, 2, 3. And Seth Rollins takes the lead to start the best of 5 series. The gamesmanship has worked out for the visionary, the architect, the bringer of chaos, as he puts away Cody Rhodes in your main event here tonight. Well, with it, it does mean Rhodes gets to pick the stipulation for the next matchup, but for Rollins, I don't think he cares. He's in the head of the American Nightmare.
Here is your winner, Seth Rollins.
And with it, he goes into next week with a safety net. He's not being 3-0 by the champion. He can take this all the way to the end if he chooses to do so. But tonight, he's victorious. And we are done with IPW Underground. Thank you for joining me here tonight. Prime time on Tuesday. Breakdown on Thursday. And then the return to the Underground next Sunday. I'll see you then. Peace out.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big